How's it going out there, YouTubers? Cyberneticshark here with another new video just for you. So let's get right into this video and see what I made. So welcome to an all-new video there out there in YouTube land and YouTubeville and all the wonderful places out there. Also among all the Twitter sphere people. Oh yes. So this video is my first in a new series of new videos I'll be doing called ranking videos. So I actually threw out a little post on Twitter saying, if people would watch if I would do a ranking video. So I decided, throw that out there, and people said yes. And I threw out another poll asking what franchise they would like to see me pull as of right now. And unfortunately, it was actually half and half with the franchises that I put up there. It was between Star Wars franchise and the Fast and Furious franchise. So I ended up going to be doing two videos because both of them were tied. So the first one I'm doing is the actual Fast and the Furious franchise, especially because Hobbs just came out last weekend. So I'll be doing that video for you right now. So let's get right into it, people. So this awesome first ranking video that I'll be doing is basically my ranking of all the Fast and Furious films from the Fast and Furious back in 2001 up to Hobbs and Shaw of 2019. So to start us off, coming in at number 9 on the list, because there are now officially 9 films in the Fast and Furious franchise, coming in at number 9 actually is the original film, The Fast and the Furious. Out of all the films, this one is my least favorite, simply for the fact that because it's so old versus all the other films, I mean, it is coming up on 20 years old. I didn't feel that the story was as good as the other films that have come out since. I just feel it's gotten better and better and better and better with each film. And this one I just feel was my least favorite out of all of them, because that's the one I probably watched the least out of all the franchise. I currently have the whole franchise except for Hobbs and Shaw because it's out in theaters right now. But that one definitely is not my favorite, simply for the fact too that I don't really care too much for Vince's character in the film. And I thought everything about it wasn't perfect. I mean, it had a great cast, and don't get me wrong, you got Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, Michelle Rodriguez, Jordana Brewster, all these different characters and stuff that are awesome. But I just feel that as they went on, they just got progressively better written and just betterly, directed. And don't get me wrong, Rob Cohen is a great director. I absolutely love his film Daylight. I've liked a few of his other films. This one I just feel is not the best of the franchise, and that's why it comes in at number 9 on my list. So coming in at number 8 on my ranking video here is none other than the 4th film in the franchise, the Fast and Furious film, which basically reintroduced us to, Vin Diesel's character, Paul Walker's character, and all the characters from the first Fast and Furious film. Because if you recall, the 2 Fast and Furious has Paul Walker in it, but not Vin Diesel and the other characters, and then Tokyo Drift doesn't have anybody in it except for a quick cameo of Vin Diesel at the very end. So this one was kind of like the reintroducing of it, and I put this one at number 8 because that fact that it took 4 films before they reintroduced these characters. 2, I just feel it was not the best of the new series that Justin Lin was directing. Definitely I feel he's gotten better and better. He got better and better with Fast 5, and then the Furious 6, and then so forth. I can't wait till Fast 9 comes out next year to see what he's done with this, his next addition to the awesome franchise. But at the same time, I just thought that this one was not as good as the other films in the awesome franchise, and I just didn't like too much about the whole backstory with the Braga thing and stuff like that. And I just, and the whole thing about killing off Letty and all that kind of stuff. I just thought that was a little too excessive, and that it just didn't bring it to full tilt, because, you go from the very first Fast and Furious, Letty's fine, all of a sudden she's dead by 4, and all this stuff. So I just thought that this one was lackluster versus that. But definitely I felt this one was better than the original Fast and Furious, and still had some really great car action sequence in it. So that's why it's number 8 on my list of ranking video number 1. So coming in at number 7 on my ranking video, number 1 of the Fast and Furious franchise, is none other than the next predecessor in the awesome Fast and Furious franchise. That was, you had the great introduction of The Rock in the previous film. You have this awesome confrontation, and then all of a sudden you go to adding another crazy kind of bad guy character. And that, of course, is the film The Fast and Furious 6. Oh yeah, so this one coming in at number 7. And the fact that I put this one lower on the podium is simply for the same fact as with the Fast and Furious, is once again the story was a lot better than the Fast and Furious, but at the same time, once again, you're dealing with the whole Letty thing. She doesn't remember who she is. You learned more about what happened to her in 4, and basically, you kind of have a reintroduction to her in 6 because we don't see her in Fast 5 at all. And it's like, why didn't they bring her back for Fast 5 and then kind of have this happen in Fast 6? So, I just felt that it could have been a little better story for this one. But at the same time, the action sequences and everything in this one was really awesome. This was like the last one that Paul Walker fully, did all the acting in. And so that kind of puts it down there because, we lost him by Fast 7, unfortunately. And he didn't get to finish his role in that one. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I put this one a little bit down there. And also, it's one of the ones that I haven't watched as much as the others. And I still think it's a fantastic film, but definitely it's my number 7 on my ranking video. So coming in at number 6 on my ranking video of the Fast and Furious franchise is none other than the last film that Paul Walker was a part of the Fast franchise. And that, of course, is the film called Furious 7. Oh, yeah. So this one was the first one that hadn't been directed by Justin Lin. This one was actually directed by James Wan. And don't get me wrong, it went from, Justin Lin's aspect to, bringing out James Wan, and he brought it to a whole new level. And even though, unfortunately we lost Paul Walker through, midway through filming this one, they still used CGI work that did a really decent job. And, they did a pretty decent job with the, his brothers standing in for his body double and all that kind of stuff, which I thought was really cool. But at the same time, I put in this one down at number, 6 because of that. This is the final one that Paul Walker was in, and that we're not going to get to see him anymore. And another thing is just because of how much CGI work they had to use in this one, I feel that too was kind of a downplay on this one too as well, because they had to use so much and didn't use as many physical effects as they have in previous films and so forth. And just kind of a few of the scenes, you were just like kind of really crazy how they did them, and which are great and all and fun, and it made the movie even funner. But this one also, like I said, just you could feel that the Fast franchise was kind of getting a lull, but got a rebirth. And I thought that they did a good job with dealing with Paul Walker's death and moving the franchise on. So that's why this one's at my number 6 spot on my ranking video of Furious franchise. So coming in number 5 on my ranking video of the Fast and Furious franchise is none other than the latest adaptation in the Fast and Furious franchise before Hobbs and Shaw. And that, of course, is the Fate of the Furious. Oh, yeah. So this one, we learned about this whole new bad guy that has actually been a part of the whole scenario since Luke Evans' character in Fast 6. And that, she's kind of deals with him, and he's the brother of Jason Statham, and all this kind of stuff. And The Fate of the Furious was just a really great film, especially because it's the first one without Paul Walker, and they do a fantastic job. And I feel that because of how well they did with it, and F. Gary Gray did such a great job of directing it, it definitely made me feel that this one's a little better than the Furious 7 was. This one definitely had a lot of great action sequences. I liked the whole idea with the submarine attacking them and all that kind of good stuff. And it just was a really interesting kind of accompaniment of like kind of finishing off some stories, with Dom and Elsa Packy's character that we've seen her since Fast and Furious, and kind of going on and showing that kind of stuff and just kind of closing off some storyline so that we could further progress and make the story better. And I thought that that's what they did with this film and did a really great job. So that's why this one's at my number 5 on my spot on the ranking video of the Fast and Furious franchise. So coming in at number 4 on my ranking video is none other than I feel one of the best introductions to an awesome new character in the franchise. And just a really great idea, and I love everyone that was involved with it, and I love that Han was a part of it, and just was a really cool and awesome sequel. And that, of course, is the film Fast 5. Oh yeah, this one's so awesome. We get the introduction to The Rock, Elsa Packy's character. We get to see Han and these two Latino gentlemen that are part of the group and stuff like that. And we're introduced to Wonder Woman herself, Gal Gadot, and all this kind of cool stuff. And it's just a really fantastic film, really well done. One of Justin Lin's best, I feel, of the franchise. And just the addition of The Rock was really awesome. I love him as Hobbs. I think he's fantastic. And this movie just blew me away, and I thought it was a really fantastic film. So that's why this one is at my number 4 on my list. It's just really good, really awesome, and really well done and directed. So coming in at number 3 on my list of this ranking video of the Fast and Furious franchise is none other than a great film that had Paul Walker be solo in this one, and also introduced us to the awesome Tyrese Gibson's character, who is absolutely hilarious and awesome, and we get to meet Ludacris's character, and just it's such a great, awesome film that was so well directed. And that, of course, is the awesome film Too Fast, Too Furious. Oh yeah. So Too Fast, Too Furious, if you're not familiar with, was the second film of the Fast and Furious franchise, and is the first one that didn't have Vin Diesel involved, Jordana Brewster, Michelle Rodriguez. None of the people that were in the first one, except for Paul Walker, was in this one, and we got introduction to a couple new awesome characters who we've seen, in subsequent sequels, who were really awesome and great to have involved in the franchise. And this one I just absolutely love. I love watching this one. The addition of the hot and amazing Eva Mendes. Absolutely love watching that woman work. She's so amazing and hot. And just, I love the dynamics between Brian and Tyrese's character and just like how they are. And I love the addition of Ludacris because I think he's absolutely hilarious. And it's just a really awesome film. I thought it was so beautifully directed, by the awesome Gary. Unfortunately, who passed away this year, he just did a really great job with it, John Singleton, I should say. He really did a great job with it, made a great, sequel, and I thought that this one would really propel the franchise to be better and to be awesomer, and to just give us this great franchise to watch. Really fantastic film. If you haven't seen Too Fast and Furious, definitely check it out, people. It's one of the best of the series, and that's why that one comes in at number 3 on my ranking video. So we're down to the top 2 people on my ranking video, my first ranking video. And as you guessed, there's only 2 movies left I haven't talked about in the Fast and Furious franchise. You're probably wondering, oh my god, he put these 2 up there as the number 1 and 2. I know it's kind of crazy, but at the same time, these are my 2 favorites of the franchise. Coming in at number 2 is the brand new Hobbs and Shaw movie, Hobbs and Shaw. Woohoo! So yeah, Hobbs and Shaw, I absolutely loved this film. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was really well done. I love what David Leitch did with the series. I love that he gave us such a great dynamic, great comedy element, and the action sequences were so on par and awesome. And just the whole idea of, this Idris Elba's character, this bad guy that's being genetically, engineered and stuff like that to be like this super soldier, is a really awesome idea too as well. And I just loved the comedy element that was between Jason Statham and The Rock, and how they really bantered off each other and really gave us more of who, Hobbs is and who Shaw is, and like really how, they come to work together to save the world. And I just thought that was a great idea, and I really enjoyed it. Really well done film. If you haven't gone and seen it in the theaters yet, definitely check out, people. It's worth the watch. Amazing, awesome. I'll be doing a movie review on it soon, so keep your eyes out for that. It's such an awesome film, really well done, and just beautifully directed by David Leitch. And that's how good it was is why it's my number 2 on my ranking video list. So that brings me to my number 1, people. My number 1 video. So have you guessed yet? There's only 1 movie left I haven't talked about. It's the introduction to Han, the awesomest character of the Fast Furious franchise. Have you guessed? Come on. I can hear it. I can hear you saying it. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Of course, it is Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Yeah, a lot of people hate this movie. They think it's horrible. Had nothing to do with the characters, in the franchise, but everyone does not realize this is going to be a pivotal film in the introduction and the demise of the awesome Han in the rest of the series that people didn't realize, and what Justin Lin did with this awesome character. This movie is just so much fun. I love it. I love the whole idea of the drifting aspect of racing the film. I love the aspect of just everything that was involved. I loved Lucas Black. I thought he was really fun. And I just love the introduction to the awesome Han. And you just kind of fall in love with Han, and you want to see more of him. So I was very happy when they brought him back for for other Fast and Furious films, and that we got to see more of him, because it's like how did they bring him back? He died in Tokyo Drift. I'm like, well, how's that going to work? And these previous films are supposed to be sequels that are prequels to Tokyo Drift happening, and that Furious 7 is supposed to be the exact sequel to Tokyo Drift. And I thought that was just a really cool concept, and just made Tokyo Drift such an amazing film. Great action sequences, great writing, great acting by all involved, and the cameo of Vin Diesel at the end was so awesome too as well. Really well done film. I think it's fantastic, and that's why it's my number one on my list. I think it's the best of the franchise. I know a lot of people are going to disagree, but that's my number one, and what I think is the best of the franchise so far. So keep in mind, we'll be having more films soon. We'll have 9 and 10 coming out. So who knows? Maybe one of those will knock out Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift out of my number one spot. You never know. Right? But that is my ranking video, people, of the awesome Fast and Furious franchise. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you liked this first ranking video. I'll be doing many more. And hopefully, I will have the Star Wars one up soon, along with, maybe further ones. I'll do another poll to see what people like to see as well. But definitely, this has been fun. I love doing these videos. This is an awesome new video to do series, and looking forward to doing more. So I hope you enjoyed, and that's it for this video, people. Oh, yeah. So as always, people, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Also, thank you for subscribing. And also, thank you for your, being an awesome subscriber and watching my content and sharing it and all that kind of cool stuff. But if this is your first time here, or if you've been here before and you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, what do I got to do? Have Hobbs come and ask you politely to push the button? Come on, people. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss this awesome video or any of the awesome videos I put up. As always, people, keep your eyes out for any older, newer videos you might not have seen mine yet. And as always, people, check out the awesome Stardust app and the awesome Horror Pack, which are awesome services. One's free, one's a cheap price where you get 4 awesome Blu-rays or DVDs to your door monthly of awesome horror goodness. So that's something to shoot. Check out the links down below, people. They're always down below. You can always check them out. And also, there's an awesome link down below for a discount on the Horror Pack as well, too, for your first-time users. Yeah. As always, people, catch you in the next one.